Hello and welcome back to ClickFunnels 101, Introduction to ClickFunnels. We are going to tackle Section 2 head-on. In this section, we are going to sign up for the 2-week free trial for ClickFunnels. After 2 weeks, it does return to its regular price. Then we're going to take a short trip around the back office. We're going to get comfortable with all things ClickFunnels, connect a domain. Basically, a domain is like a .com, .org, .biz, something along those lines. We're going to then connect an autoresponder for email marketing. We are going to review the components of a ClickFunnels, and then we're going to get into the nitty-gritty. Without further ado, let's go ahead and start that 2-week free trial. So let's talk real quick, what is ClickFunnels and why use it? In general, in its most basic form, ClickFunnels is a web page builder. ClickFunnels is used by thousands of businesses because it's just easy to use. Even though ClickFunnels is just a web page builder, it specializes in building pages so that you can collect information, you can process orders. It's really efficient when it comes to doing those types of things. Whereas WordPress is very good at blogging or getting up websites without a lot of fuss, ClickFunnels is very good at creating sales funnels so that you can collect user information, create funnels, do upsells, downsells, all of those good things. So I'm sure the next question should be is why do I need ClickFunnels or why should I use it? The simple answer is if you have customers, you should be looking at a software like ClickFunnels. The use cases are bridge pages, landing pages, websites, sales page, membership sites. If you're an affiliate marketer, you want to do like a bridge page or landing page. If you have a business, like let's say you have you have a brick and mortar store, you can use ClickFunnels as a marketing tool. One of the examples I created over on YouTube is if you own a restaurant, you're a brand new restaurant in town, you're a brand new restaurant here in Kenosha, and you want to start getting people in the door. One way that you could use ClickFunnels is you could run paid ads, so show up at the top of Google search and say, come check out the hottest new restaurant in town. When they click the link, it goes to a landing page where you tell them to enter in your email and I'll send you a coupon for $10 off your next meal. Now, if you are a brand new business, you're doing that for 2 reasons. One, you're getting people in the door. 2, you can follow up with them every single day or as frequently as you want, offering them new items. If you look at your email account right now, I'm sure that you get emails every single day from seemingly random people. Like I receive emails every day from a restaurant, keeping me up to date about the new things. Santa's coming. They've got new menu items. If you have a business, if your business is customers, people, human beings, you want to consider using ClickFunnels because there's a lot of options for you to grow your business. So again, if you have a website, if you don't want to deal with WordPress, you had a bad experience with WordPress, but you don't want something that's high level, like let's say like Node, or you don't want to pay someone to be a React developer, you can create it with ClickFunnels and it's just drag and drop, point and click. That's why ClickFunnels is so effective, because you can essentially create anything that you want within 15 or 20 minutes. So sales page, if you're selling a digital item, sales page is top notch. In fact, if you've ever purchased anything online, it's a pretty good chance that you went through ClickFunnels. Like if you purchased a PDF, something along those lines, it's usually a ClickFunnels site. And then you can also create a membership site. So if you are looking to grow your business with maybe like a membership group of some sort, you could use ClickFunnels for that as well. And it all works pretty nice. They all play nicely within one another. And again, we're going to show you how to do that. So one of the questions a few weeks ago, I asked a Facebook group, if I built a sales funnel for you, would you be interested in watching this video or doing a live demo? One of the most frequent questions was, what's a sales funnel? Now, according to Wikipedia, a sales funnel is a consumer-focused marketing tool which illustrated the theoretical journey towards the purchase of a good or service. So a sales funnel, and that's basically what ClickFunnels is based off. It's its origin. A sales funnel basically consists of 2 things. It's a process in which a person becomes a buyer, and it's the process of moving a customer from a low ticket item to a more expensive item. So a sales funnel can be used in those 2 ways. For example, I have a couple examples here. In order to get someone from someone that's interested to a potential customer or lead, you can use a sales funnel to get them to opt in, or a bridge page, or a pre-sale page, or an opt-in page. So that's when, let's say I'm creating a YouTube video and I say, click the link in the description to learn a little bit more. They click the link in the description and it takes them to a landing opt-in page. You will enter in your email address and then you enter into my sales funnel. So that's one example of a sales funnel. Another example is, let's say you purchase something that's very inexpensive. Let's say I'm offering you an ebook for $1.99. You purchase the book. Now you've entered the top level of a sales funnel. Basically, the object is, I know that you're a buyer. I know that you know, like, and trust me. So I want to offer you a more expensive item. So let's say the book is in affiliate marketing. I'm going to offer you possibly a course for $10 in affiliate marketing. After that, I may offer you additional add-ons for $30 a month. After that, I can invite you to a mastermind group for $5,000 per term. So that's basically what a sales funnel is. It consists of two different things, and they're kind of used interchangeably. In this course, I'll try and make a distinction as to when I'm doing which. And basically, again, a sales funnel is getting a person that's interested and into turning them into a lead, and it's also moving them down a value ladder. All right, so we talked a lot about ClickFunnels and some of the back end stuff. Next section, we are going to do an introduction. We are going to sign up. I'm going to walk you through that. You will need a credit card. It does come with a 2-week free trial, but after the 2 weeks, you're automatically rolled over into a paid membership. We are going to review the back office of the ClickFunnels, so we're going to spend some time playing around there. Then we're going to connect a domain. Right now, ClickFunnels is offering free domains. That may change in the future, but I'm going to show you how to connect a domain. After that, we're going to look at the various components of a ClickFunnels page, and then we're going to connect an autoresponder. I can't wait to jump in and start doing some of those things, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello and welcome back to ClickFunnels 101, Introduction to ClickFunnels. In this video, we are going to sign up for the 14-day free trial to ClickFunnels. Now, you will need a credit card because after 14 days, it does roll over to the regular price, but I want you to click the link in the description if you don't already have ClickFunnels to sign up. I'll leave a link below this video to get started. So basically what we're going to do is I'm going to take you step by step how to sign up. So we're just going to start the free 14-day trial. We are going to enter your full name, enter an email address, oops, and then a good password. Then we're just going to click Start Building My First Funnel. Then you need to go through the additional information. Let's see, we'll go. All right. And then it says, this is what we call a order bump. It's a one-time offer to get you to spend a little bit more with ClickFunnels. We are not going to select that right now. You can if you want, but I recommend that you do not do that. So just enter in your credit card. As I mentioned, it will be required for this step. And then enter in your information here. And then make sure that you do not select this unless you are interested in the funnel training. And then finally click this here. It says 14 days from today. Then it'll just be $297. There is also a lower tier option. I believe that's like $97 a month. For most people, that's going to be your best value. The only time you want to look at the $297 per month is if you're selling a digital product, or if you really want to connect everything, keep everything connected. For example, if you want to use ClickFunnels for the email autoresponder, then you'd want to use the $297 per month. But for most people, the cheaper option, I believe it's $97 per month, is the best option. I'm going to show you how to connect it to an autoresponder so that you can use that as opposed to paying for the $297. But again, if you're selling your own digital product, then it is the best method to do, best way to go. So we're going to click process my payment. It's going to be free for the first 14 days. All right, so now that we have made it to the next step, this is called a one-time offer, an OTO. This is an attempt to, because you've already invested your time and energy into Clickfunnels, they know that you're interested, they're going to try and get you to upsell into this value. It's $100, it's an incredible value, but it's not required at this time. Again, if you want to, you can invest in it, but it's not mandatory for what we're going to do in this video. You can always come back and do it at a later date, but it's not required at this point. So we're just going to scroll all the way down to the bottom and say, no thanks, I don't want to join the one funnel away challenge at a huge discount. And then finally, we're just going to skip past it. If you want, you can get your free ClickFunnels t-shirt, but we're going to say no thanks. So this is the brand new interface or back office for ClickFunnels. Now that we have successfully signed up, the next step is just to kind of roll through and take a look at all of the different things that we can do with the back office. So in the next video, we're going to take a spin around the back office, take a look at some of the things that we have access to, and start getting started building funnels. So I can't wait to see you in the next video. All right, in this video, we are going to take a short trip around the back office. We're going to take a look at some of the things that the back office offers us before we get into the nitty gritty, which will be actually building out our funnels and connecting domain names and all of that good stuff. So first things first, build a funnel. This is where you could go to build a landing page, opt-in page, bridge page, things of that nature. Build a follow-up funnel. Basically, that is an autoresponder sequence. They call it a follow-up. They call it a follow-up funnel. It can also be called a follow-up sequence, autoresponder. There are a few different names for it. When you send a broadcast, it's a one-time email that gets sent out to anybody and everybody on your mailing list or whomever you want it to be sent to. So that's basic terminology. If you're selling digital products, you can see that information here in the middle. Calendar, affiliate earnings. If you become an affiliate for ClickFunnels, you can see how much money you are making. If we go up here to the top, if we click on ClickFunnels, you can build funnels if you'd like. We just click on funnels here. This is where you'd go to build like landing pages, websites, bridge pages, all of those good things, which we'll get into at a later date. If we click down and go to contacts, these would be people that are on your mailing list or maybe have purchased a product from you recently. If we go down to sales, this basically just talks about the sales that you've made. You can handle like returns and invoicing and all of that stuff here if you wanted to. If we go down to funnel marketplace, this is where you can buy premium funnels. That is not required for what we're doing. You don't really need to buy premium funnels for, quite honestly. You can if you want. If you want to not, if you're impatient and you don't want to spend the time building funnels, you can always purchase premium ones. All right, so here we are back. If we go to follow-up funnels, again, you can see your contacts, people that are on your mailing list, people that have made purchases, email lists. These would be the different lists. Let's say you are sending people to a funnel. To get into a funnel, they have to join a mailing list. A mailing list is a group of people that are interested in a particular topic. For example, I would have a mailing list for people that are interested in my ebook, and then a separate mailing list that are people interested that have purchased my ebook, and then maybe even a separate mailing list for people that have joined my premium coaching service. So you want to have your contacts separated so that you know and you can send the correct messaging. Broadcast is where you're going to send those broadcasts that I mentioned a little bit earlier. Again, these are one-time emails that are going out to a group that you have selected. And then follow-up funnels are the autoresponder, the automated emails that get sent out as frequently or infrequently as you want. The great thing about email marketing is once people get into your mailing list and they get into your funnel, you can set it up where you send out emails every single day or every other day, every 2 weeks, whatever it is. And you're sending out emails that are targeted for what they're interested in. Again, if I have people that are interested in my ebook, I can send them an email every single day until they opt out. trying to push them to buy, adding value, discussing some pain points or problems that they're facing. If we continue on, action funnels and email campaigns are basically the same older terminology for broadcast and follow-up funnels. We go over to Backpack. Backpack is not going to be available, but this adds additional functionality. For example, if you had affiliates for a product that you're promoting, let's say that you're selling a premium course for $1,000, you can hire affiliates, and affiliates can automatically pay affiliates through your Backpack, but you don't have access to it at this point, so that's not required. If we hover over unnamed company, you can go down to account settings, look at being an affiliate, and then manage your profile. So if we click account settings, you can enter in all of this information, which we won't do. I recommend that you do fill out this information, because when you are sending out automated emails, your contact information may show up at the bottom automatically. ClickFunnels subdomain is something that we'll talk about on the next page. If we go sub-users, you can add employees to your account if you want to and give them different level of permissions. Account billing is where you'd actually go to reduce your membership. You can choose a different plan, or I believe you can cancel altogether from here. If you choose a different plan, this is where you can see the difference between the 97 and the 297 plan, and you can make that switch. So we'll just click back. Notifications. You'll be notified, obviously. Account history, you can see all sorts of historical information with regard to your account. Page templates, if you wanted to, you can set up page templates. Digital assets is something that I use pretty frequently. On my autoresponder, as soon as someone joins my mailing list, I'll send them a digital download maybe 2 hours after they join, to entice them. That's called a lead magnet. For example, on my YouTube channel, say click the link in the description to learn a little bit more. They click the link, they enter in their email address. 2 hours later, I email them a PDF. The PDF is, again, that lead magnet to entice them to enter in their email address, and I can add one of those here, and I'll show you how to do that. It's actually pretty easy. And the next step is integrations. This is where you would integrate with different third-party plugins and applications. Payment gateways, this is where you can set up your Stripe or PayPal in order to collect payments. Again, if you're selling a digital download, you can collect payments that way. Email integrations, this is going to be pretty important if you're planning on sending emails through ClickFunnels. Domains is where we're going to add a domain. We're going to do that actually in the next video, so we'll do that in just a moment. Close that. And then global unsubscribes, these are people that were on your mailing list at one point but have recently decided to unsubscribe. You can add those manually as well. So this is a basic look at the back office for ClickFunnels. As I mentioned, in the next video, we are going to add a domain. I believe that at this time, the domains are free for the first year. After that, you'll pay, I think it's like 10 or 15 bucks. If they're not free, you can go buy a cheap domain from a few different sites, which will be pretty easy to find. And then you can use those domains to send emails. The reason why you need a domain, and I'll cover it more in depth, is because whatever you create on ClickFunnels is an actual website, and all websites, in order to connect to other websites on the internet, need a domain of some sort. But in the next video, I'll show you how to connect a domain. We'll talk about all that good stuff, and I'll see you on the other side. Hello, and welcome back to ClickFunnels 101, Introduction to ClickFunnels. I am Alston Godbolt, and in this video, we are actually going to connect a domain. As I alluded to in a previous video, you need a domain for ClickFunnels because what you're creating is actual websites and web pages. In order for your landing pages, websites, whatever it is, to send and receive information, it needs a domain. And so, as I mentioned in this video, we are actually going to connect a domain. What you need to do, obviously, is log in and get to the dashboard. Hover over either unnamed company, or if you've entered in the company name, and we're just going to click account settings. Once we get to account settings, we're going to go all the way down to domains, and we're going to click add a new domain. Then you want to either register a domain or add your own. If you want a new domain, you can do that. Like I said, I believe they're free for the first year. if you have an existing domain, so like let's say you went to, I think it's Namecheap and bought a domain for 99 cents, you can do that as well. Just know that whatever domain that you pick will show up on the address bar. So if you choose, let's say like Alston Godbolt, that's going to show up on the address bar. So you want to make sure that it's something that is worthy of your company. You don't want to obviously be graphic or offensive, because that will turn people off. Just know that it can be seen, it will be visible. So if I click on choose a domain, let's search available domains. I'm going to say Alston Godbolt and see what we can find. Now, when you're choosing a domain, you want to try Alston Godbolt. You want to try .com first. If .com doesn't work, after that you want to try maybe .biz. You want to stay away from .org. You want to stay away from .gov. .gov won't even be an option. But you want to try for .com, then possibly .net. Again, stay away from .org unless you're a not-for-profit business. Let's see if we can say Alston J. Godbolt, see if that helps. Let's see if these are free. All right, so it looks like they are no longer free. Let's see if we can go back and find one that might be. Okay, at one point they were offering a deal where they were free for the first year. At this point, as I mentioned, they're no longer free, so you have to pay $20. What I would probably recommend, what's probably a better option for you, is to go over to Namecheap and find something that's cheaper or less expensive. Once you find a domain and you click pay, it's going to automatically activate it. So once you click that $20, it's going to get you set up. Once you buy your domain, you got to come back over here and you got to click on add domain. You add the domain, you enter in the domain name, so choose an existing domain. Enter in the domain name, and then you click add. So we're going to go, I'm just going to say alstongodbolt.com, and you're going to click add. And then basically you just need to go through the steps of adding the domain. And again, the reason why you want to do that is so when you're creating landing pages or websites, you can actually connect to the outside world and people will be able to see it. So that is really it. Now you will need to choose and use the right domain. You know that you've done it correctly when you click on domains and you're able to see it here. I'm just going to remove this other domain. Click edit. This domain will not affect anything. We want to remove the domain. Yes, delete this domain. Now what we need to do is I'm going to click on this domain. And this may take a few hours to go through properly, but we need to make sure that the domain and everything is set up and configured properly so that people can navigate to our website. So make sure the domain building is on. I'm just going to turn this off so that I am not charged when the renew happens. So I'm turning that off because it will expire and renew automatically if you don't. Default page is none. So what we can do is once we get everything set up, is we can set up a default page where if they just type in, let's say alstonjamesgodbolt.biz, they can say, oh no, you've gone to the wrong home or you've gone to the wrong place. Click this link to get redirected. So right now we don't have anything set up. If we just typed in alstongodbolt.com, it is going to take us nowhere. If we expand the 404 error page, if we wanted to, again, we could set something up, but we don't have any other pages right now, so it's not going to work. Domain forwarding, if we want, we can forward this to other sites. Then if we expand this, I would leave all of this as is. If you do not have a technical background, I would recommend leaving it as is. And then if we go to SSL, you want to make sure that it is SSL compliant, because you want to be able to take secure payments. And if it's not SSL compliant, Google and the other search engines are going to suppress, or your website won't appear as high in rankings. And that's important if you are creating a full-fledged website. So we would do check now. It's probably going to take a few hours for this to be SSL compliant, an SSL page. But if we click, okay, SSL is enabled on your domain. So basically what that means is if you look at the top in the address bar, either there will be a lock or it'll be unlocked. If there isn't a lock, it means it's not secure. So as you can see here, before there was no lock. Now there's a lock and it means that it's secure, and it also shows that it's secured here. That is really all there is with adding a domain. It's very important that you do it. That's why I did it so early in the process. Now that we've added a domain, we want to look at adding an autoresponder for email, SMTP, and some of the other fun stuff before we can do the really fun stuff. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to connect GetResponse to Clickfunnels. So we're going to use Clickfunnels for a few reasons. One, it's free for the first 30 days. And two, we're actually going to use it to send out the automated emails. Now, the way that this is set up, the process is simple. We use Clickfunnels to collect emails. We use GetResponse to send them out. We can send them out automatically, or we can use broadcasts. Basically, as I mentioned before, within Clickfunnels, GetResponse has the same thing. The reason why we want to use GetResponse is because it's cheaper, and the both of them combined actually come out to being less than just using Clickfunnels for everything. So as I mentioned in this video, we're going to show you how to set up GetResponse for free and then connect it to your Clickfunnels account. So if you go over to GetResponse, I've also put a link in the description, and you'll see a page that looks something like this depending on when you sign up. So we're just going to click sign up for free, and it has a 30-day free trial. So we're just going to enter in our information, and it will probably send us an email confirming. All right, just got an email to confirm, and it says please activate GetResponse, and I'm just going to click activate, and it works this quick. So I'm actually going to come back to you when I'm able to complete everything, and then we'll go ahead and connect it. So now that we created our free GetResponse account, the next thing that we need to do is we need to integrate it with ClickFunnels. So to do that, we're just going to click on the menu button. We're going to go to integrations and API, and we are going to go to API, and we need to generate an API key. And to do that, we're just going to click generate API key, and we're going to call this test key 123, and we're going to generate a key. That's going to be a unique series of letters and numbers that you should not share with anyone. Do not share this with anyone. This is a unique key here. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go back over to ClickFunnels, and we're going to go up to account settings. We're going to come down to integrations, and then we're going to click add new integration. Now, the next thing is we need to find GetResponse to integrate. So I'm just going to type in GetResponse there. We need to give it a name, and I'm just going to call it test key 123 just to make sure everything is the same. And I'm going to paste in that, I'm going to paste in this key here that was auto-generated for us. So I'm going to paste that and click add integrations. And you know that it worked because you'll see it here, and you'll also see success up here. Now you can basically do this with any autoresponder, email list aggregator. I like GetResponse because they offer a free 30-day trial, and it's relatively inexpensive when you compare to the other things. So now that we've done that, the final step in this section, which is section 2, is we're just going to take a look around the page builder. There are some very important things that I want to cover so that there isn't any confusion or frustration when we start building our pages. On the next section, we're going to take a brief walk around the page builder. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello, and welcome back to ClickFunnels 101, Introduction to ClickFunnels. I am Alston Godbolt, and today we are going to take a quick look around the page builder. The reason why we want to do that is because the page builder is very powerful, but it can also be a little confusing if you're not familiar with some of the things that you need to do. And so make sure that you log in and you follow step by step. you'll need to watch this video a few different times until you're 100% comfortable with using the page builder. So what we're going to do is we are just going to go up to Clickfunnels, and we are going to click on Funnels. And we're going to click Add New. It should be blank. We're going to click Add New, and we are going to build a classic funnel. So we're going to click Create New Funnel. For this, we're going to collect emails, but it doesn't really matter. So we're just going to choose Collect Emails, and we're going to call this Look Around, and we're just going to call this LA for Look Around, and we are going to build a funnel. Now, there's some very important things that you want to be aware of when you're building a funnel, so that you don't get confused, you don't get frustrated, because it can be frustrating when you build your first 5 or 10 funnels. But once you build 5 or 10, it'll be such that you can build a funnel in 10 minutes. So what we're going to do is we're just going to click this first opt-in page here, and we're going to click Edit Page. Now that we've opened up a template, let's take a look at the individual components of a page builder, a ClickFunnels page builder. A ClickFunnels page builder consists of sections, rows, columns, and elements. To put this in perspective, a section is kind of like a Word document page. You can have one page at a time. You can only manipulate one page at a time. And basically the page is going to, the section is going to dictate the background, the width of the page. So you can use different widths depending on what you're doing. Background color, if you want to have it boxed in. There's just a number of things that you can manipulate, which we'll take a look at. Within a section, you have rows. Rows are like lines. And then within rows, you can have columns. And then within columns, you can have elements. If you go back up, you can have multiple elements in a column, but you can only have one column in a row. And so if we look at this, again, the green here is a section. The blue here is a row. And then within row, you can have one column. And then within a column, you can have multiple elements. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to delete everything and start off with a brand new fresh page. So if I delete, and when you delete something from a section, it deletes everything, including columns, rows, and elements. In order to get rid of this background, we're just going to go over to Settings. We're going to go down to Background, and we're just going to delete this image. So we have a completely blank page. The next thing we want to do is we want to click this plus here, and it's going to create a section. Now we can create a section full width, wide, medium, or small. It's really up to you. So we're going to do wide. And then within the section, we can create a row. Now you have to have a row before you can have anything else. You can't just blindly create elements, but with a row, you can create between 1 and 6 columns in a row. So we're going to do one column here. And then just to show you, I'm going to create another row with 2 columns. And I'm going to create another row with 3 columns. And I'm just going to do all 6 so that you can get an idea of what that looks like. And again, anytime you want to create a new column, you have to create a new row. And one thing that I'm going to show you in just a moment, we'll say, one thing that I'll show you in just a moment is you can actually adjust the size of the columns, which is pretty cool. So what we could do here, if we wanted to, we can make this very small. Let's say we want to have an image here, and then we want to have a bunch of text. We can really adjust this in any way. And then if we wanted to, we can go down and make another section. But let's go back and let's manipulate this column. So within the column, we can add elements. As you can see on the right-hand side here, there are a number of different elements that we can take advantage of. So if we want to do a headline here, we could say and do just about anything. On this line, this column and row, we are going to add in an image. That's what a demo image looks like. Beneath that, we can add in a button. There's just a number of different things that you can do. And one thing that I want to show you when it comes to creating rows, columns, and sections, there is always this gear or settings icon. If you click on that, it enables you to have many more options. Again, if you want to add a background image, if you want to change the background color, if you wanted to adjust where it shows up on the page, you can do that. And then it even gives you some advanced settings. If we want to add a border, let's add a full border that would show up around our section. And you basically have the same opportunity at each individual level, section, columns, and rows. If we want to change the background color, we could do that. We can add a drop shadow. So that's what that looks like. And so on. So again, if we go down to our row here, we can actually do the same thing within our row. We can adjust the top margin if we wanted to. We can add a background image here. We can change the background color. We can adjust a lot of stuff when it comes to being able to manipulate your web page with Clickfunnels. So if we wanted to, we can add another border. Let's add a full border so you can see how that's framed. We can add a drop shadow in here if we want. So basically, every section gives you the same opportunity to have the same manipulation. The best advice that I can give you when it comes to Clickfunnels is don't be afraid to play around. Don't be afraid to mess anything up, because that's going to be the best way that you can learn. While this is a great introduction and tutorial, I'm sure that there will be one or two things that I miss, omit, or forget. And really the best way for you to make sure that you know every single thing when it comes to Clickfunnels is that you go in and you play with it on your own. And so what we can do is you just have a wealth of options when it comes to making changes. So here, let's actually change the background color so you can see that it only impacts. Let's change that to black. As you can see, that's the result. Change that back to white. If we wanted to, so most people are really only going to use text, an image, and a button. Occasionally, you will use a video, and it's very easy. Video is very easy to use. You just add a video, and then you click on the video, and then you have a number of options. You can embed it from a YouTube video or some of these other options. And again, you can adjust the width. So if you want it to look like that, you can do that. Let's take a look at the buttons real quick. Button is very important and very tricky. With the button, you have a lot of options. And that's one thing that you'll realize with Clickfunnels is you'll have a lot of options and you may not use all of them. Personally, the button color is pretty important when it comes to call to actions. I'll probably remind you of this multiple times. When you create a button, it is very important that you set the action to where you want the content to go. If you're creating a landing page to collect email addresses, make sure you go to submit order so that the email address or the email address that the customer puts in actually goes to your landing page. I've made the mistake of changing this to go to website URL or go to next step in the funnel, and it gives you a warning. This does not submit your form. You want to collect the email address, so you want it to submit the form. Any of these other options here aren't going to submit the form. If you're building a landing page or if you're building a bridge page, then just something to get your customer off of the site like maybe YouTube or somewhere else, and you're trying to get them to a sales page, if they click to sign up, then it's okay for it to go directly to a website and you can put in that website there. I always recommend opening a new page so that this page isn't closed. But if you're collecting email addresses, you want them to usually go to submit the form. So some other things that we want to take a look at. If we go settings and integrations, we want to go select integrations, and we want to integrate our GetResponse integration that we set up in the last video. Now, this is critical if you are collecting email addresses. You want to make sure that you do this every single time so that when they enter in their email address and they click this button to sign up, their email address goes to that email list that you set up, and they can get added to the autoresponder. So what we've done is we've integration, we've added our GetResponse, and then you just need to do add to campaign, select a list, and it will automatically know which list that you have connected. And once you've connected, it'll say connected here. So when someone enters in their email address, and we're going to build a actual landing page, so don't get concerned just yet. When someone enters in their email address and clicks submit, it'll go to their GetResponse. It'll go to your GetResponse landing page. So if we go settings here, SEO metadata, you want to change this because whatever you change up here will change up here in the top left tab. So if we say this is for Udemy, that'll show up here in the top left. This is for Udemy. It's also important that you have a description because this will show up on Google search results. Also have some keywords, and then you want to change the author. If you change the URL image, that'll actually change this right here because right now it's set to the Clickfunnels image, but you can actually change that for it to show up as something else. So for example, we could say this was made by Udemy, and this is what people will see when they want to learn a little bit more about your site before going to it directly. So you want to make sure that this doesn't have the default language. So what we can do at this point is we're just going to click save. Then we're going to click preview. And you're going to get a rough idea of what it looks like. Now, obviously, because we didn't add in content down here, there won't be anything down there. But this is a rough idea of what we've made so far. We're going to close that. And I want to show you the pop-up. You can actually turn pop-ups on. So if someone leaves your page, or if they go up and they attempt to leave your page, you can make this pop-up show up, or you can make the pop-up the next step when someone wants to click to find out more. So what we're going to do is we are going to edit pop-up settings. We can show on exit. So when someone goes to exit, this will show up. We can do backdrop. We could change that to white if we wanted to. We'll leave that at that color. Background color, change that to white, change it to red. We will leave it at that color. And again, you can change the way that this looks. Advanced. If you want, you can manipulate some of those colors. We'll say full border, so you can see what that looks like. And you just have a wealth of options, and you can get as pretty or as detailed as you want when it comes to this. So let's manipulate this button now. So we're going to click on the button, and then we can set the action. And again, you'll have the exact same options as you would before. So let's preview. I'm going to save this. And right now we have it set to show up on exit. So if we click preview and we go up to exit, boom, there it is. So that is how, this is the basics of a page builder when it comes to ClickFunnels. If you were going to add, let's say, a Facebook pixel, I'll show you where to do that. I'll show you where to do that right now. You want to add background picture, general, there's just a lot of things that you can do, but you don't really need to do it when you're just getting started. So while I'm here, I want to show you how to add a Facebook pixel or a Google Pixel if that's what you're using. So you just go to settings. You see where it says head tracking code? Facebook is going to give you a pixel code that you're going to copy, and you would paste it right here. The other thing that I want to show you is the domain. We set up a domain in the previous video. You need to activate that domain or add the domain in order for your web pages to be visible online. If you don't set this domain, no one outside of you will be able to view your website. So we just need to go down, we'll click save, and then there you go. So if we were to click this here, it should take us to our web page. And as you can see at the top, it says this is Udemy. This pops up when we exit. And you can see this is some of the stuff that we created. So this is a very good basic template to get started. We basically know everything that we need to know or that we want to know before we start building out our web, or before we start building out our sales pages and our landing pages. So this is a pretty good start for section 2. And section 3 is where we're going to start having some fun, where we build out web pages and case studies and do all of that good stuff so that you can get up and running to grow your business. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello and welcome back to Clickfunnels 101, Introduction to Clickfunnels. In this video, we're just going to quickly wrap up everything that we did and take a few minutes to talk about what's coming up next. So in this section, section 2, we have basically set up all of the outline the foundational steps to start building sales funnels and membership sites and actual websites. But we should be off and running. We should have a pretty good foundation. We talked about basically the components of a ClickFunnels webpage, the sections, elements, columns, and rows. We actually set up for the 2-week, we set up the 2-week free trial. We connected a domain, and we actually connected an autoresponder. We got a lot of work done. And so in the next section, which will be section 3, we are actually going to build our first landing page. Some people call it a sales funnel, opt-in page, bridge page. We're basically going to talk about the components of that. So we're going to build a landing page, a thank you page, and we're going to connect our autoresponder. And we're also going to add a lead magnet to our digital aspect. And then finally, I will put that link and make it shareable so that you can download a version of what we've done. So I can't wait to get started. We're actually going to start building out a website or a web page at the very least. We're going to connect everything up, and you can see how it flows seamlessly. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to use the example of a plumber or a small business owner. If you are an affiliate marketer, you can kind of adapt it to meet your needs. If you are in another type of business, maybe you run like a hair salon or a barbershop or whatever, this can be totally adaptable. You just have to change a few words and possibly even change an image. So let's go ahead and get started in the next section. Hello and welcome back to ClickFunnels 101, Introduction to ClickFunnels. This is the introduction to section 3. And basically what we're going to do in this section is we are going to build a sales funnel. Now, as I iterated, or as I defined a sales funnel. So there are 2 definitions of a sales funnel that we can kind of use interchangeably. The first definition is a person that might be interested in a product or service, and we convert them into a lead or potential customer by getting them into our autoresponder. So that's one definition. The second definition is a person that is already in our autoresponder, and maybe they've purchased a product, but we want to move them down our sales funnel to get them to invest in more and more products. So an example of that is, let's say, a dentist. A dentist is a pretty good example. We have them come in for a free teeth cleaning service, and then while we're cleaning their teeth, we notice that they have cavities or they need dentures or braces or whatever that may be, and we're moving them down the sales funnel. And as we move them down the funnel, it costs more and more. We get them to invest more and more on their health and on their teeth. So that's the second example. The first example is, let's say you've created a YouTube video, or maybe you've done a paid ad and you know that they're interested in a free teeth cleaning. You get them to click on your ad that you placed, and then they enter in their information, and then that's how they enter in the sales funnel. So when you think about it, it's all basically the same, but there's 2 components of a sales funnel that makes up the sales funnel. So basically what we're going to do is we are going to build out this funnel, and I'm going to make a shareable link so that you can download it and have it. Again, you will need ClickFunnels. You should have set it up in the last section. If you haven't already done so, go back and click the link. There's a link to a 2-week free trial that you can take advantage of. Click that link and get started with and setting up some of that foundational stuff, because we're going to apply it in this section. So I can't wait to get started. This is actually the fun part when it comes to ClickFunnels, is actually building out the website. So I'll actually see you in the next video where we build out our first website. Hello and welcome back to Clickfunnels 101, Introduction to ClickFunnels. I am Alston Godbolt, and today we are going to build an actual landing page and thank you page. So the goal of this is to get someone from either a free or paid traffic source, get them to enter in their email address and join our autoresponder. And autoresponder is basically something we would set up on the back end where we send them automated emails, either to generate interest, to get them to buy a product, or maybe just brand awareness. And so basically what we're going to do is we are going to, in this video or in this section, we are going to create a thank you page, a landing page, and add a lead magnet. What I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and break this up into about 10-minute segments. I could spend all day and all night talking about sales funnels, but what I want to do is make sure that I stay till about 10 minutes each, because it is very easy to get bogged down and get bored. So one other note is that this may look a little different depending on when you join ClickFunnels, but for the most part it is going to be all the same. So what we're going to do to create a sales funnel to get people to opt in is we're going to go up to the top and hover over ClickFunnels and ClickFunnels. It should be that first one. Again, this may look a little different depending on when you get started. And now that we're here, all right, so now that we're at the funnels, I'm going to click Add New. Then I'm going to select the classic funnel builder. Then I'm going to select Collect Emails. Then we're going to give it a name. Let's call this Udemy 1. And we're going to call it UD1 for the group. And I'm going to click Build Funnel. And then now, while that's working in the background, it's going to take us to this page where we build a funnel. It includes an opt-in page and a thank you page. And so basically what I like to do is I like to just grab one of these templates and delete everything so that we can get up and running and create it exactly how we want it. So now that we have downloaded a template, we're just going to click Edit. All right, so now that we have the template, the quickest way to go up and delete things is to go up to Sections, Manage, press the trash can, and click OK. So now that we've done that, we have a completely blank slate, which is exactly what we want. When it comes to a landing page, in my experience, the shorter the landing page, the better. The more information that is on the landing page lends to a customer to click off, to get frustrated, to lose interest. We've got a lot of things going on in the world. Their phone could ring. They could have a kid screaming in the background. We want to make this landing page pretty basic, short, and concise because we want them to opt in to our our email list and get on our autoresponder. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to click on Add New Section. Then I'm going to select Wide. You can select any of the four, but my personal preference is Wide. I'm going to click Add New Row, and this is where we can start having a little fun. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to select one column, and this is where my heading is going to be. So I'm going to click Add New Element, and I'm going to click Heading. And so basically you want this heading to be attention grabbing. Because this is going to be the first thing that they see. You want them to get excited, get interested. It should be congruent with the product or service that you're offering. Let's say you're a plumber and you're offering a free in-home estimate for plumbing services, whether it's to fix a leaky faucet or whatever. You want to make sure that's congruent. So what we're going to do, and again, this can be configured any way that you want it. Feel free to change the call to action, but this is what I would do. Again, we want to make this as succinct as possible. I'm going to say, are you tired of the leaky? All right, so are you tired of a leaky faucet? Or we could do something that's a little bit more headline grabbing. One thing that I like to do, and a good example, is to look at other calls to actions in around your niche. So what we could do is we could go to Google, and I'm going to type in plumber near me. And the reason why I want to do that is usually there will be ads that pop up at the top. And let's see, professional plumbing services, not necessarily a good one. Kenosha plumber. So that's not a good option. So are you tired of a leaky faucet? We could use that. We may want to spend a little bit more time thinking of something that may be a little bit better, a little bit more eye-catching. So we'll say, for now, we'll leave it at, are you tired of a leaky faucet? And we'll say end the frustration. So what would be a pain point of having a leaky faucet? Maybe it's costing you more money. Maybe you hear that drip when you're trying to get some sleep. So we'll say in the sleepless nights. Sleepless nights and expensive water bill, and get that faucet fixed. And I actually like that. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So what I want to do is I want to maybe add a little space here. I'm actually going to increase the size of this headline just a little bit. Are you tired of a leaky faucet? All right, and then it says, in the sleepless nights and expensive water bill, and get that faucet fixed. Maybe we'll add fast or today. So now that we have that, the next thing that we can do, and this is kind of like a dealer's choice, you could either go with a 2-column, where on one side we have a picture or an image of a leaky faucet, and on the other side we could say enter your email address or enter in your contact information, and we'll follow up with you in 3 hours to schedule an appointment to get your leaky faucet fixed. So if I'm going to change that, I'm going to add a new element, and here I'm going to add a subheading, and we're going to say enter your email to have your faucet fixed today. So now that we have done that, I'm going to make that like this, and then I'm going to maybe add a little bit of a space here. One thing that you'll notice with Clickfunnels is it can be a little bit touchy. And one thing that I'm going to do is I want to grab a faucet. Leaky. All right, so I'm going to grab one of these. So we'll go to images. And as you can see, this is actually pretty easy to do. I like this one. So I'm just going to save image as. You want to make sure that if you're going to grab an image off the internet, that you have the rights to do so. Some of these do not allow you to do that. You have to maybe attribute, or you might have to pay for them. But for the purpose of this template, I just want to show you how easy this is. So I'm going to give it a title of faucet, and I'm going to save it to my desktop just so that it's easy to find. Now that I've done that, I'm going to jump back over to ClickFunnels, and I'm going to add a new element. I'm going to add that image in, and I have to grab it from my desktop. As you can see, I have a number of images already uploaded here. What I want to do is I want to click upload, and I'm going to grab it from the folder that I've stored it in. You could also drag and drop. That's another option that you have. And I'm just going to click add the image. Now what we should do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to change the background image to white so that it blends right in. And then if we want to make the faucet a little bit bigger, we're going to change the height. So maybe 300, maybe 500. If we did that, now that we have basically a pretty good framework, we can, let's add a button. Let's add a button and an input. So you do input. Then we're going to add a button. And so let's do this. We want to make sure that we set to email address, make sure that it's required, and then we can click out of it. And then for the sign up, what you can do is a good color to use is a green, because a green is like an indicator of a buying decision. It's a subtle thing, but it's a very good selling tactic. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back into the widget. And all of this can be completely up to you with some of this as far as the text goes. I'm going to change this to fix my faucet. I'll just change it to fix it now. Fix it now. I'm going to make this full width. And let us adjust the height here. So we can adjust this height so that it's a little centered. Or we could actually make this a little bit smaller as well. Right now it's at 500. Let's change this to 450. And that does not look too bad. And so again, when it comes to a landing page, simple is better. We have a pain point. Are you tired of the leaky faucet, and the sleepless nights and expensive water bill, and get that faucet fixed fast? So Basically, we're telling you, or we're telling the customer what we can do, how we can do it, and we're going to do it quickly. We're giving that call to action into your email to have your faucet fixed today. What we could do here, if we wanted to, and again, this is 100% up to you, we could slide this down. We can get as cute or generic as we want. In most cases, when people have a problem like a leaky faucet, they just want it fixed. They don't care about all of the bells and whistles. Another thing that we could do to entice them to enter their email address is with a free gift. That free gift is called a lead magnet. In most cases, a plumbing is not going to, you're probably not going to need a lead magnet for a plumber. If you're an affiliate marketer, if you have, let's say you own a barbershop, a nail salon, something along those lines, maybe you want to entice them with a coupon. You want to entice them with it's called PLR or a PDF, enticing them. Let's say you are promoting or selling, let's say you're promoting or selling a stand mixer. And in order for them to leave their email address, you might have to give them 10 cooking recipes that are no bake. So what we could do is we could we could add in, we could say, enter your email address to get 10% off. To receive a 10% off coupon. Enter your email address to get a 10% off coupon mailed to you. So, and this actually turned out to be not a bad lead magnet, because we'll email it to them. It'll be something that we could create on the back end. But this is pretty good, pretty basic. We could add in a disclaimer down here if we want to. Let's say we'll do that real quick. So we'll just do wide, we'll do this, one column, we will add an element, and then we can just do a paragraph. We'll say, we will not fix anything. Obviously, if you're using this, you want to change that, but this is basically a nice example of a landing page. People are going to come to it, maybe you're advertising on Facebook or on YouTube or whatever. People come to this and they see right away, are you tired of the leaky faucet? Well, yeah, I am. Do you want to end the sleepless nights of expensive water bill? Well, of course I do. I'll definitely enter in my email address if I can get 10% off. So they enter in their email address. And before I go, one very important thing, make sure you configure the button. Right now, the action for the button is not set. We need to go click the button, go to set action, and we need to submit order. Submitting the order will send the customer's email address to your landing page / autoresponder. So it's very important that you do that. The next step is to click save. After that, we want to go to SEO metadata, as I mentioned in the last video. When you change the title, we could call this Ted's Plumbing Service. I spelled plumbing wrong. There we go. And Ted's Plumbing Service will show up here. If we change the image URL, we can change it to that faucet. Click Add Image. And let's see, let us change to, we'll call this Alston Godbolt. And then obviously we could change the keywords. So if we click save again, and then we click preview, this does not look bad for something that we've created in a couple minutes. Or excuse me, that is it for this video. In the next video, we're going to configure a thank you page, and then we're going to add in a lead magnet. Now that lead magnet could be anything. It could be that 10% free coupon. And we also need to do the step of, we also need to add the step of configuring our autoresponder. And so we still have a lot of work to do, but we are on the right track. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello and welcome back to ClickFunnels 101, Introduction to ClickFunnels. I am Alston Godbolt. Today we are going to quickly finishing up the foundation of our first funnel. So what we need to do is we need to integrate it with our autoresponder. In the last section, we actually used GetResponse, so we can do that. And we also need to make sure that we configure our domain. And so let's go ahead and do those things real quick. So I'm going to click Edit Page, and I'm on the opt-in page, so I'm just going to click Edit. Once I'm here, I'm going to go over to Settings, Integrations, and then I'm going to find my GetResponse autoresponder and then add to campaign. So what's going to happen is when someone comes here from either a free or paid method, they're going to enter in their email address, and that email address is going to go to the autoresponder on GetResponse. GetResponse is going to save or build an email list, and it's going to automatically send out the emails that we set up and configure. Setting up that portion on GetResponse is outside the scope of this course, but I want you to get an understanding and comfort level with setting up and integrating third-party applications. So now that we have done that, we are all connected because it says connected here. We are going to save it again. And what we could do if we wanted to is we could create a pop-up where we say, hey, before you go, you didn't enter in your email address, but we don't need to do that at this point. So we're just going to exit out. Let's save this one more time. We are going to exit out, and we need to go over to settings. And then once we're in settings, we need to connect our domain. You're going to use the domain that you set up in the last section. If you have not done that, I definitely urge you to go back to that other section and set all of that up, because this won't make any sense, or you'll get confused and frustrated, maybe even a little bit lost if you don't set that up. So we are going to connect a domain. We are going to scroll all the way down, and we're going to click Save and Update. So once we do that, we've done everything that we've needed to do to connect our landing page to the outside world. The next video, I am going to show you how to quickly set up a thank you page. In general, a thank you page is a one-time offer where you try and get them to buy. You're going to say, hey, thanks for entering your email address. Oh, by the way, I have this offer for you if you want to take advantage of it. In our case, what we're probably going to do is we're probably going to have them either call us. We'll leave our contact information for them to call us right away, or maybe we'll have them schedule an appointment, something along those lines. But stay tuned, because in the next video, we'll go ahead and take care of the thank you page. Hello and welcome back. In this video, we are going to quickly manipulate our thank you page, and we're going to add a lead magnet. Now, again, the lead magnet basically is that free thing that we are going to use to entice them to enter in their email address on the front end. In this example, as a plumbing company or plumbing service, we are going to email them a 10% off just by entering their email. So what we would need to do if you were using Clickfunnels for both your landing pages and your autoresponder, we would actually go up to account settings, then we would go down to digital assets, and then we would create a new asset. So I'm just going to quickly grab an asset. So we're going to use that faucet JPG, and we're just going to give it a name. We'll call it a coupon, and we'll click add. Now, the reason why I want to show you this is in the event you decide to use Clickfunnels for both your front end and back end, it's really easy to get this going. What you would need to do next is go over to the three dots that are on the far right hand side, and then you would need to get the asset path. Now, basically what the asset path is, it's a URL that points to the lead magnet that we'd be giving away. Again, if you're using an autoresponder like GetResponse or another third-party application, this doesn't apply to you. So let's go back to our landing page here. So we go back to hover over funnels, go down to funnels, and we're just going to click on our Udemy one. And what we're going to do next is we're going to clone this funnel step. Now, in reality, it's not that big of a deal because we don't have a lot of content on our landing page. But if we had a ton of information and let's say we had different colors for the background, or maybe we had a video or something, cloning or duplicating that funnel step will make your life a lot easier when it comes to congruency. You want everything to look and flow the same. You want to have the same colors, and just duplicating that funnel step makes your life a little bit easier instead of having to reconfigure everything exactly the same. So what we're going to do next is we are going to select opt-in, and we are going to add to the funnel. And when we add that to the funnel, as you can see that shows up here, we are going to click X and delete that thank you page. To make sure there isn't any confusion or frustration, click on that opt-in page that duplicated one we just created, click on publishing, and then we can change the funnel step name to thank you. or thank you page. And I'm just going to click update. And so now this should change to thank you page over here, and life is all good. So we're going to click edit page. And what we are going to do is we are going to say thank you. And what we could have here is we could have a video. Maybe the video is me showing you step by step how to do something basic, like how to check where the leak is if they wanted to fix it themselves. Maybe a video could be just introducing who you are. Let's say I'm a plumber. I could say, hey, thank you for opting in, or thank you for joining my mailing list. Someone will be with you shortly. In the meantime, my name is Alston. I've been in the plumbing business for 30 years. I've fixed plumbing issues large and small. It's a good way to connect and build rapport with someone that has actually never met you. So we'll say thank you here, and we'll say our team will contact you in 30 minutes. And then maybe we could say can't wait. Say can't wait 30 minutes. Let's say you could, why can't I spell wait? Can't wait 30 minutes. We'll say call us now. And we can just add in our contact information. So we'll say, I think we called it Ted's Plumbing. Ted's Plumbing. We'll give our phone number 262-111-1234. And then we can give our address. We'll say city. Another thing that you could do is you could actually put your license number. Let's say you're bonded, you're insured, and you want to show that you have those qualifications. You could put your license number here and any other pertinent information. So as you can see, because we have duplicated the funnel before, it actually makes our setup time pretty easy. What you could do is you could actually split this to 50-50 here and have a video here. Again, talking a little bit about yourself, a little bit about the team, if that's something that you want to do. Or you could leave it here, a logo of your business. And what you could do is, let's say we'll do, let's see, we'll say click here. Click here to download your coupon. And what we're going to do is we are going to increase the font size. And then let's save this real quick. And we're going to go back and grab our digital asset that we just created. So to do that, where you exited out of that page, we are going to go to account setup. We're going to go down to digital assets, as I showed you before. And we are going to copy digital asset. Now that we've done that, we're going to go back over to our funnel and click on our funnel name. Go back to our thank you page, click edit. And then what we can do is we can make this a URL or even a button. And we've got that. Let's also make it a button, just so that there aren't any excuses. We'll say button, get my coupon. Then we're going to set the action, set that to the digital asset. We're going to open it in a new window. And we are going to make this the full width. Because if you don't make it the full width, what will happen is people are going to call you and email you and say, I never got my coupon, what's the deal? And so you're going to say, hey, it was sent to you in huge bold letters, there's no excuse. So we're going to click save. And then if we click preview, this is exactly what we get. And if I click here to download your coupon, this normally would be our coupon, but it's the image that we used before. And the same with the button. Whoops. I'll click back here. And it should be the same with the button. So this actually worked out pretty well. And I think that we've done really everything that we need to do for this section. Let's make sure that we save that. And again, this is going to be a shareable link. The only thing that you'll need to do is basically configure it to your product or service that you're selling. If you're selling coaching services, you can do the same thing. If you're selling, keep using the salon or barbershop, nail salon, restaurant, anything and everything, this could be applied. You would just need to change the images and change the text a little bit. Let's see, we'll exit out. And the process, just to reiterate, is someone will come to our opt-in page, whether it's free or it's a paid method. They'll read the call to action, they'll enter in their email address, it'll take them to a thank you page, and then they'll also get added to our email list. And then also our autoresponder. All right, so I believe it or not, I believe that is it for this section. The next video will be a wrap-up of what we've done in this previous section and what's going to happen in the next. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Hello, and welcome back to section 2. In this video, we are going to wrap up everything that we've done in this section and take a look at what's coming up in the next section. So in this section, section 2, we built a basic sales funnel. It included a landing page, a thank you page, setting up and integrating our autoresponder, adding a lead magnet, and I will provide a link below to the shareable link to the page that we built. I showed you how to upload and integrate an image to change the size of the image. Basically, we did a lot of work. Again, this can be used for the front end of a sales funnel for both free and paid methods. We built it up with regard or with respect to a plumbing service, but what we built can be applied to any product or service that you're recommending or selling. In the next section, we are actually going to build out a full website. One of the great things with Clickfunnels is it allows you the ability to build out a complete website with basically the same amount of work. We're probably going to split this up into 5 videos. We are going to have a video for the homepage, about us, product, blog, and contact us page. If you do it this way, it allows you the ability to not have multiple websites that are all doing this basically the same thing. So if you decide to build a website with Clickfunnels, you don't need to have a WordPress site, or you don't need to worry about having someone, you don't need to worry about paying someone to make sure your WordPress site is up to date. All of the themes and plugins and some of that stuff, you don't have to worry about buying a self-hosted blogging package. This kind of cuts out the middleman, and it doesn't take too much more work to get set up. So in the next section, that is what we're going to do. We're going to build a simple 5-page website for your business. Hello, and welcome back to Clickfunnels 101, Introduction to Clickfunnels. In this section, we are going to build a simple 5-page website. And the reason why you may want to do this with Clickfunnels is so that you aren't duplicating efforts with having to worry about a managed or self-hosted WordPress site. You can do all of this within Clickfunnels. You can actually create this type of content pretty fast depending on your content. This can be a good opportunity to spend all of your money in one place. If you decide to go this route and you build a complete website through or with Clickfunnels, you don't need to worry about having a WordPress site. You don't need to worry about hiring a WordPress developer. This can save you some time, energy, money, and frustration, especially if you don't have a web development background. So what we're going to do in this section is we're going to build a simple 5-page website using Clickfunnels. We're going to build an About Us, a homepage, a product page, a blog, and a Contact Us page. All right, so each one of these is going to have its own unique video. If you are only interested in one or the other, feel free to jump ahead or go with me step by step. All right, so I will see you in the next video. Hello, and welcome back. Today we are going to start building our website, starting with the homepage. So to do that, we are going to hover over Clickfunnels, and we are going to click on Funnel. The next step is to add a new funnel, and we are going to choose the classic funnel builder, and we're actually going to create a custom funnel, and we're going to name this Udemy website, and we're going to call this UDW or Udemy website, and we're going to click build. And again, this website can take the place of a WordPress site. Really can do just about anything. It can collect payments. It can do the whole thing because it is a web site. So what we're going to do is we're just going to select a basic website here. And there's a few things that we want to do. First, let's go over to publishing and let's change this to homepage. So we'll call this home, update, And we can even change the path. So if we go to path and we type in home, update funnel, right? So as you can see, that says home. So if someone would go to alstongodbolt.clickfunnels.com/home, it would take them to this page. If we go over to settings, we want to make sure that we add the domain. And let's see if we can change this path. Let's change it to website. Let's see what happens. Right, so now if we visit the funnel URL, it starts off as website, but then it changes to the original opt-in page, which is quite okay. So what we should do, or what I would like to do at this point, is I want to clone this step 4 more times so that we have the framework of our page set up. We can either do that. Actually, let's go in and edit the page first. I'm going to show you why in just a moment. So we're going to go in, we're going to edit this page, and we're just going to delete everything out. So we'll go manage again. We're going to delete, 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 delete. So now we have our clean slate. We are going to add a wide here. We're going to add 1 column. And then within our column, we are going to add a paragraph. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to have home. We'll say product one. We'll say blog, about, and contact. Now the reason why I'm doing this is going to be the framework of our menu. So what we're going to do is we're going to increase the font size there. We can go in and change so what we could do is we can make each one of these links, hyperlinks. So when someone clicks on them, they would go to the associated pages. So we could just do this. Now this isn't something that you necessarily have to do. And what you could do even on top of this is add a logo. So if we had a logo that we wanted, we could put the logo on top or even to the side here via a 2-column and go from there. But what we're going to do, we're just going to leave it here for now. The next thing that we may want to do is we may want to add a header. We could say, welcome to Ted's Plumbing Service. And then below that, we could add a subheading. We'll say plumbing since 89. All right, so, but again, this is the basic framework. Decrease font size here. And we could make this a little bit larger as well. And we could even add in our tagline, Ted's Plumbing Service. If we can't plumb it, it doesn't need to be plumbed, I guess. But if we continue on, now we can add in some text. And we can do this one of 2 ways. We can create a new row. And that actually might work out a little bit better. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 1 row, then we're going to do 1 column, 2 columns, 1 column. And the reason why we want to do that is so that we just don't have a wall of text. So let's do 1 column and we would add in some basic content. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some content from a plumbing website. Plumbing. Just so that we can get an idea of what it looks like. All right, so I'm going to emulate basically what this website looks like. We are going to rebuild this without this side area here. I mean, we could add if we wanted to, but I don't want to. So to do that, the first thing that we're going to do, since we created a new row and a new column, let's do a heading. And I'm just going to copy and paste it over. So we have that. We could even left justify it if we wanted to. What we could do is we could change the background if we don't like the background color. So let's change that to white. And beneath that, we are going to add in a new, copy this, and we're going to do a paragraph. Paste that in. And the purpose of this is just to show you what a completed website would look like, a completed homepage would look like, so that we don't have to worry about reinventing the wheel. And what I'll do too is I'll put a link to the website that I have lifted all of this from. Now that we have basically the first part, the rough outline, the next step is to create this section. We need to create a 2-column row. So we click add new row, and we're just going to do 2 columns here. And when we do that, that enables us to basically greater emulate this website. So I'm just going to save the image, and we'll save it there. I'm going to add an image over here. Click image. And I'm going to upload the image as I did before. Grab that. Click add image. Whoops. So that is that. And then we can just adjust the size here. And then over here, we're going to add kitchen. So we'll do maybe like a subheader kitchen. We'll send that to the left there. And we are going to do a paragraph, and then we can also do a bulleted list. And if we wanted to get even more detailed and cute about it, we could make it a 2-column list here as well. Or one thing that we could do is we could adjust the size here and then make it a 2-column list here. There's a number of different options that you can do. Really, it just depends on how creative you want to get it. If you're just looking for something basic, kind of like this website, it can be basic. It can be quick. The purpose is to help you make money and not necessarily spend a lot of time on a website or developing a website unless you really, really want to. So I'm just going to leave this as is, and actually I'm going to link this website so that you can see and compare for yourself. And I'm just going to hit return here, paste that in. I'm going to link that as so. All right, so if we click save and we click preview, all right, so that's a pretty good starting point. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go out, and now we're going to start building up the other aspects of your website. So in the next video, we're going to start building those other pages, and then we're going to all connect it all together so that there is no issue and it works seamlessly just like a regular website. So we'll see you in the next video. In this video, we are actually going to fill out the other 4 pages of our website. So we still need a about us, a product page, a blog, and a contact us page. So we're going to do that quickly, and we're going to do it just like we did with our landing page, where we're basically going to duplicate all of the pages, but then the next step will be to integrate the various web links for our web pages so that when people click on the menu and they click on the different links, they actually go to the right places. So let's go ahead and do that. We are going to clone funnel step, and we just need to do that 4 times basically. Home, and then we're going to click on add to funnel. Then we are going to clone this again. We're going to click home, add to funnel, add to funnel. We'll do that again, clone, select it, add to funnel, and then we've got 4 of them. We just need to do it one more time. Now that we have the 4 added, the next step is to change the names, and then obviously we have to connect the URL. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to click on this first one, and then I am going to simply name it. If I go to publishing, I'm going to name it, let's call it About Us. And then we're going to call this About Us. Click Update. And we're just going to do the same for each one. What I'll do is I'll fast forward after I have all 5 of them with all 5 names changed or all 4 names changed, and then I'll show you how to integrate them with the correct links. All right, so now that I have all of these changed to the correct name, so we have a home, about, product page, blog, and contact us. So what we need to do is we need to get the URL for each one and add it to each one. And to do that, basically what we're going to do is we are going to copy URL to clipboard, and we're going to go to contact us. And what we won't do is we will add links for the other 4 web pages, just not to the page that we're currently on. So right now we are on, I believe we are on the, let's exit here. So right now we are on the About Us page. What we'd want to do is we want to make sure that when they click the About Us, that it doesn't go anywhere. And to do that, we're just going to click link, and we're going to leave that hashtag or pound symbol as is. So if they want to go home, we're going to click the link button, and we're going to add in the actual link to that website. So if we do that and click save, and then if we click preview, this is our about page. If we click home, it should take us to the home page, but we really can't tell that anything is different because the pages aren't changed yet. So what I'm going to do again is I'm going to show you how this works for the first page, and then I'm just going to kind of fast forward because this is kind of tedious work that you don't really need to watch someone do. What I will do though is, just so that I know which web page is which, I'm going to change the heading. So I'm just going to do that real quick. I'm going to go edit page, and I'm just going to type About Us, and I'll do the same for the other one. So we'll say About Us, click save. And again, I'm going to do that for the product page, the blog, and the contact us. Right now, I believe I am in the product page. We'll say our products /services. So we'll save that. Go blog. And we'll say get the latest info. Info. Click save there. Go out. One thing that will probably make this a little bit easier is if you copy the URLs on a notepad or some other document, so you can quickly just copy and paste once you get into each individual site, so that you're not spending a lot of time going back and forth. So I'm just going to edit this one to change it to contact us, and then we'll go through. I'll fast forward through so that you can kind of see what this looks like. All right, so we'll click save. We'll exit out. Now each one of our pages has a label, with the exception of home, because you just kind of know. So as you can see, it says contact us. This one will say blog or something similar. Product page says our products and services. About us says about us. And then the home just has the blank. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy each one of the URLs down to a clipboard. And so when I go into each individual one, I can just kind of copy and paste and save myself some heartache. So the next time you'll see it, everything should be configured as normal, and I'll take you through the associated sites. All right, so I went ahead and I connected all of the pages together. So if we click on one, it should take us to each one of the pages, which will make our life a little bit easier. Obviously, the only thing that changed at the top is the heading. That's because I didn't add any contact. The other thing that we would need to do, and we would need to do this for each individual page, is we need to go into settings and we need to change the SEO metadata. And just like with our landing page, we should probably put a little bit more information, like a home page. So again, when someone looks at the top at their tab here, it'll say home page, and it won't say, whatever the template is that we used. Obviously, you want to add in a little bit more information, add in an author, and so on, because this can be found through search engines. And you don't want this to turn potential customers off because it's not filled out correctly. So as you can see, the homepage changed here. If we click on the next one, which is an About Us page, it is going to show, if I click edit, it will show squeeze page at the top, and we want it to say About Us. So again, we would just go into settings, SEO metadata, and we're going to change squeeze to about, and then click save. So we would do that for each one, and that's really it. So that's really everything that we would need to do. Obviously, when it comes to the About Us, the product page, and the contact page, we would want to change and configure it as needed to represent our business and brand. On the next video, I am going to show you how you can turn this page into a blog. So I will see you in the next video. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can set up a blog style web page for Clickfunnels. So we are here at our Udemy website. We have the 5 pages already set up, and we have a special page for a blog. What we're going to do, and this is going to be a multi-step process, and we're actually going to use some of the steps that we used in the previous videos to create this. So what I want to do is I actually want to delete all of this. Actually, I can keep this. I'm just going to, yeah, let's keep this. I'm going to delete this though. And I'm going to delete this as well. Actually, I'm going to get rid of that as well. And then I'm going to create a heading, and we're going to call this, we'll say, what's new in plumbing volume 1. And I'm going to change this image size so that it's significantly smaller. So we're going to change this height to maybe 100. And what I want to do is I want to make this a little bit closer together. I'm going to change that to that. Let's see. And you're going to see in just a moment why I'm doing this. So I want this to look just like a real blog. So if we've got that, got that. And I could actually I can do one of two things. I could make this so that it's centered a little bit, like that. Or I could shrink the size of the image. So now that we have that, I'm going to click save. I'm going to exit out. And I am going to go to new funnel step. And we're going to call this, what did I call it? I called it what's new in plumbing volume 1. And so I want this path to look just like that. All right, so we'll create funnel step. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over to miscellaneous. We're going to come down to, I'm going to type in blog. Let me see if it's there. Blog style. So we want to click on this. We'll select this as a template. And once that's all queued up, we'll just edit this page. Now, in general, the reason why you'd want a blog is, let's say you want to get found organically, and this is more for if you have like a nationwide brand or a product or service that you're promoting and you want to get found organically, you can use a blog to do that. So what we're going to do is, I'm just going to save this. Let's assume this blogging content is pretty good. We'll say, what did I call it? What's new in plumbing volume 1, we'll call it. And I'm going to click save. I'm going to exit out. And I want this funnel step URL. So if I copy this and I go to my blog, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add the links here. So I'm just going to link URL, put that there, and then same with this, link URL. Now the reason being is, let's say there are people that come to our site frequently and they want to be up to date on our latest information. We can have all of our blogs listed on this page so that they can cycle through. What we would do is I would just duplicate this multiple times. So what we could do is we could duplicate this 50 times if need be. And each one of these could link out to a different blogging web page. So if I click save, and if I click preview, if I click this, it should take me to the blog that we've created. This is the cleaner way to do it because let's say we had 30 volumes. We could have all of our volumes listed in order. We'd probably want to start with our newest volume first, but it's a nicer way and Google will appreciate that everything is kind of linked together. What we could also do too in this blog, if we really wanted to, is we could set it up so that we have arrows, like a next arrow to go to the next or the next blog in the sequence. We could do that like right here. We could add like a sentence or two. Click here to see volume, what's new in plumbing volume 2. But to summarize, and this doesn't actually take very long, you just have an image here and have a link to your actual blog in the title. And if you look, I've actually kind of modeled this after my website. If we go to alstongodbolt.com, now this is built with WordPress, so it's going to look a little bit different, but for the most part, it's very similar to what we have done over here. What we could do, if we wanted to, is underneath here, we could add in a short description of what the blog will be about. So I'll just reduce this here. I can make this left justified, and we could say this week's topics are ... And then we'd also have a link there as well. So this is actually looking pretty good. Obviously, we would have different images for each one of our blogs, but this looks a lot like what is done already here. If we wanted to get even more cute, we could add a button, just like the button you see on my blog. So again, we can click that. Font size, themes, we can change the button. What I'm looking for is sending it to the left. So again, this looks a lot like my WordPress blog, but we have done it completely we've done it completely within Clickfunnels. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete these other ones. And if I click save and we click preview, there you go. This doesn't look too bad, and it doesn't look too much different than our self-hosted blog. Obviously, we could increase the image size here. Why don't we do that here? Let's see. Let's do 300. Okay. And we'll just adjust this. And let's see if let's change that to, let's change this to maybe 225. Okay, that doesn't look too bad. Then we can adjust this so that it's centered. And then we can just duplicate this as many times as we want. And if I click save and preview, this is what it looks like. And it looks very much like this right here. All right, so in this video, we have created a blog, and we've actually set it up to get linked out to an actual blog. Again, the reason why you'd want to create a blog if you have a business is so that you can show up in organic search results. It's a good way to add content, add value to your customers, and get found organically and increase your reach. In the next video, we'll just conclude everything that we've done in this section, and we'll talk about what's coming up next. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. And welcome back to Clickfunnels 101. In this video, we're just going to do a quick wrap up of everything that we've completed in the last section, and we're going to take a quick look at what's coming up next. So, in this previous section, we created a basic 5-page website using Clickfunnels. We created a homepage, about, product, a blog, and a contact us page. Basically, what we did was we created one page, we duplicated it all 5 to 4 times. Then we went in and we linked everything up so that people can navigate the site as if it's a normal site. And then the final step is we actually created a blog. We created a main blogging page, and then we created a bunch of mini blogs that link back and forth so that everything is clean and there isn't any issue when it comes to Google or anything of that nature. In the next section, we are actually going to build a sales page. Now, if you ever purchased anything online, there's a pretty good chance that you ran into a ClickFunnels sales page. Now, ClickFunnels sales pages are great because they're pretty easy to set up. You can do all sorts of things. You can do what's called order bumps or one-time offers, basically upsells, downsells. You can sell digital products so that the product gets sent to them automatically, completely hands-off. You can set up so that they get access to a membership site via the sales page. There's just a number of different things, and it's very helpful, very beneficial to learn this skill. So we're going to set that up. One of the things that we're going to need to do on the back end is set up or connect PayPal. Really, there are a number of different payment third-party applications that you can integrate, but we're just going to use PayPal. If you're going to use something different, it's pretty much the same process. In fact, PayPal might be a little bit more difficult, and I'll show you that in one of the upcoming videos. So in the next section, we are going to build out a sales page. I can't wait to get started. Hello and welcome back to Clickfunnels 101, Introduction to Clickfunnels. What we're going to do in this section is we're actually going to build out a complete sales page. And what we're going to do is we're going to model it after a sales page that I built based on an ebook that I created. And so we're just going to model it step for step and show you how easy it is. We're going to include some upsells, some downsells, some one-time offer, all of that stuff so that you can see how it works. Actually, in the next video, we're actually going to integrate with PayPal, which is a payment processing service. ClickFunnels does have the ability to use PayPal or Stripe. I'm just going to use PayPal because I've used it before and it's actually more difficult than setting up Stripe. So here are all of the things that we are intending to set up in this section. We're going to build a sales page, and within that sales page, we're going to have the ability to collect payments. We are going to set up what's called an order bump, do one-time offers, digital downloads, connect PayPal, add a one-time offer and order bump to ClickFunnels. So basically what that means is there's a section where you can add your actual digital products, and I'll show you how to do that in this video. And then we can also set up affiliate payouts as well. So if we were going to put this on, let's say like ClickBank, and we wanted to have affiliates sell our products for us, we could actually set that up, or we could do it all by ourselves. And again, we're going to use the example of a plumber. It's probably not the best example to do, but we'll make it work. So just real quickly, I want to show you basically what we're going to make. All right, so this is basically what we're going to make. It is a sales page for an ebook that I created called Modern Affiliate Marketing Strategies. If we scroll down, we're just going to try and emulate this as close as possible. In fact, what I'll probably do is I'll probably just copy and paste a lot of this to save time. This will probably be a multi-part video because this does require a pretty good amount of work. One of the things that I want to show you, if I keep scrolling down, is if we click here to get instant access, it takes us to the bottom of the page. And as you can see, there's payment information. And then this right here in yellow is called an order bump. Basically what that means is if we add this, it should dynamically increase the cost of our order. The way that this is set up is the Modern Affiliate Marketing Strategies is marked at $7.95. We add the order bump, I believe it adds $14.99 to the cost. So when we check out, the customer buys the product. Don't buy anything here because this is a live and active website. If you purchase it, you'll actually get an ebook. And in fact, what I'll do in the next video is I'll actually take you in the back office and let you see all of the different steps that are required. So I will see you in the next video. In this video, we are going to quickly integrate PayPal with our ClickFunnels account. So basically what we're going to do is step by step connect our PayPal developer account with ClickFunnels so that we can accept payments via PayPal. As I mentioned in the previous video, you can also use Stripe, but I'm just going to use PayPal because it's actually more of a difficult process. And if you learn a harder step first, the other step actually becomes pretty easy. So what you're going to do, or what you're going to need to do, is log into developer.paypal.com/docs/API/overview. I will leave a link in the resources section for you to click on. It is kind of difficult to get to. It seems like PayPal doesn't necessarily want people to do this, or it requires a higher level of technical skill. So what we're going to do is we are actually, once we get here, we're going to go down to log into the developer dashboard. And of course, you need to have a PayPal account. It's free to set up. So once we click on that link to get to the dashboard, you are going to see this, My APIs and Credentials. Now, there are two types of APIs that you can create. You can create a sandbox and you can create a live. A sandbox basically allows you to test and make sure everything's working properly. So what we would want to do if we were just getting started, and in fact, what we should do is create a sandbox API so that we can go through and make sure our payments are processed correctly for this video. It's very important that once you're done testing and you're satisfied with everything, you create a live API key. The reason for that is you need to create a live API key, because if you don't and you start sending out your ebook or product that you're selling, people are going to be able to access and purchase this product and you won't make any money. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you how to create the live one. We'll also need to create a sandbox one so that we can test and play around. To create a live one, click on live and then click create API. You can name it whatever you want to. Nobody will see it. I'm just going to say ClickFun1. Create app. Now this is going to generate a client ID and a secret ID. You should not show these IDs to anyone. In addition, don't show or divulge your PayPal account to anyone. Make sure that this is pretty, if people are able to see your PayPal account and your client ID and your secret, they can steal money from you. So you don't want to let anyone see that. The next step is to log into your ClickFunnels account. All right, so I'm here at the main page of ClickFunnels. What we're going to do is we're going to, just like we set up our GetResponse, we're going to go up to Account Settings. We are going to go down to Payment Gateways. We're going to add a new payment gateway. And as you can see, Stripe is an option. We're actually going to use PayPal. And then we're going to copy and paste the client and client secret here. So since we are doing live first, what we need to do is I need to copy this client one here, copy that, and I'm going to paste that there, and then do the same thing for the secret. First we need to show the secret, and we need to copy that, and then find my where did it go? Bring this back here, and then we need to paste that in. So then we're going to create that, and again, you'll know that it works when you see the green success here, and then if you look at the payment gateways, you'll see your PayPal setup. So now that we've done that, this is our live one. I'm going to refresh that. So now that we created a live one, let's go ahead and create a sandbox. We want to use a sandbox so that we can play around and make sure everything's working correctly. So what we're going to do is we're going to create app name. I'm going to call this ClickFun Sand. And we'll leave that as is, and then we're going to create the app. So when we create the app, again, it's going to give us the client ID, which we're going to copy. We're going to use that client ID. Let's see. Minimize that. Oops. We're going to go back over to ClickFunnels, and we're going to click Payment Gateways again. And I'm going to add a new payment gateway. I'm going to again use PayPal. I am going to paste in the client. Then I'm going to go back and grab the secret, which I'm going to copy and paste once again. And I'm actually going to click off this because we're using Sandbox, so we're going to turn that off, and we're going to create PayPal V2. And once again, if it worked correctly, you'll see success. And the only thing that I don't like is you can't tell which one's active and which one isn't. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back, and I'm going to delete this first one because this first one is my live one, and we're not going to use, or at least I'm not going to use, the live in this video. So just to test, yep, this is my Sandbox version, and there you go. But again, you can do the same thing with Stripe. You just have to follow the directions for Stripe. Stripe or PayPal, it doesn't really matter. In the next video, we're actually going to start creating our sales page. So let's get started. In this video, I just want to show you the various parts of the sales page that we're going to create. If you remember, in the first part of this section, I talked about a sales page, a one-time offer, and then actually there's an offer wall included as well. But what you could do if you're selling a digital product or service, you could create basically an unlimited number of offer walls or upsells and downsells until your heart's content. What will happen, or the way that this is set up, is once a person goes through and buys a product, they'll get met with a one-time offer, an upsell, and an opportunity to add additional services. The theory behind it is most likely people are going to buy more after they've already purchased something for you. So for example, if I was selling this ebook for $1.99, immediately after they click submit and their payment is processed and goes through, I may sell them something else, maybe like a MP3 of the ebook for $9.99 or $14.99, whatever the price is. If they elect it, great, we'll add that to the cart. If they decide not to do it, they'll get what's called a downsell. A downsell may be a secondary offer. It could be an MP3 of the first half of the book, and it's going to be cheaper or less expensive than the upsell. I've seen sales pages, or I've seen online sales, digital product sales that have like 5 or 6 upsells and downsells. In theory, or in my opinion, you don't want to overdo it because you could create a frustrated customer. There is a limit to the number of upsells and downsells that you should do. I don't know the exact number, but it's out there. Now, the last thing that you want at the very end is what's called an offer wall. Basically, it lists everything that the customer has purchased. So if we go here, and I just want to show you this page, after the customer purchases the ebook and they get the upsell and the downsell, I will have here listed everything that they've purchased. And in most cases, if it's an ebook or a digital download, they can click and download the product that they purchased. Now, the great thing with this is that it's dynamically updated. So again, if I have like 4 upsells or downsells, everything that they purchase shows up here. And they can automatically access it. So that's pretty cool. And we're going to basically build something like this out, but we're going to build it as if we are a plumbing company and we are offering services. So maybe a customer is going to go online and they're going to purchase all of our services right online, and then we'll follow up and schedule the date and time. We could do something like that. It doesn't really matter, but I want to give you a rough idea of how this would work so that you can start imagining and possibly even building one for your own product or service. So in the next video, we're going to start with the sales page. Quite honestly, these videos are probably going to be a little longer. I'll cut them down as much as possible, but I want to make sure that you are 100% able and capable to build out a sales page. So I can't wait to get started. This is probably one of the most fun parts, and I'm sure hopefully you'll have a little fun as well. So let's get started. All right, so here we are at the moment that you've all been waiting for. We are actually going to create a sales page. Now, if you recall, the sales page really is going to consist of multiple parts, and I'm going to show you each one of those parts. Now, we're not going to actually go in and manipulate the actual site itself, because we've already done that with the landing page, and it's essentially the same thing with different text. But I do want to show you a few important things, a few important features that could be important to you if you are building a sales page down the line. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll click Funnels, and we are actually going to go to the video sales letter. So we're going to click on, or excuse me, we're actually going to go to the sales letter funnel. So I'm going to click on add new, and this time we're going to click on the cookbook builder. The reason for that is Clickfunnels has created a bunch of pre-made sales funnels, and we're not going to recreate the wheel. What we are going to do is we are going to add some products for us to purchase. I'm going to show you actually how to turn on the test site so that we don't actually spend any of our own money. But I'm going to click on e-commerce, and I'm going to look for sales letter funnel. You have the option of selecting free funnels or paid funnels. For what we're doing today, we're just going to use a free funnel. And so this is what the funnel will look like roughly. I'm going to click Get Funnel. And while that's loading, there's a few important features that we're going to take a look at. I'm going to show you how to manipulate and change them. I'm going to show you how to add products to your order bump, to your sales letter, to your upsell, your downsell. I'm going to show you how to do all of it so that this is painfully easy and painfully obvious. The first thing that we need to do is we need to go over to settings, and you probably will need a Stripe account for this. I showed you how to set up ClickFunnels. Stripe is basically the same thing. What we're going to do is we're going to go down to Stripe account. I'm going to add in my Stripe ID, and I'm going to click on test mode. The reason for that is Stripe is much easier than PayPal to test your website with. So I'm just going to click save, and you know test mode will be on when we go to our funnel. So if we click on edit page, if we go to our funnel, it'll say, you're in test mode. So this is a nice clear indicator that we're in test mode. If we click on preview, this should clearly indicate, as you can see up here, we're in test mode. So that's awesome. Now, the other thing that I want to show you is right here, as you can see, it says add to cart, and then there's nothing else. If I click add to cart button, the order form shows up. Now, this is pretty cool, pretty awesome, because it hides it until it's ready. And I'm going to show you how to turn that on and off, and so that you can start playing around with it. The first thing that I want to do is I actually want to go in and I want to add a product. And to do that, we are simply going to go over to products, add product. We are going to use the Stripe integration, save and next. We're going to give this a name. We'll call this drain cleaning. As you can see, I did that once. And we're just going to charge $7 for it. Price override, we're going to leave all of that the same. Let's see, cleaning the drain for one sink. We'll say. This is not an order bump product, so we'll hit save and continue. Create variable product, we don't need to do that, so we'll click save and continue. A thank you page is already automatically created when you create one of these products, so we don't have to worry about that. What we could do is we could send out an email and say, here's your product. So in addition to them being able to download a product on the offer wall, you could also have them have an email automatically sent out. We don't really need to do that, so we're just going to click save and next. Here's a cool thing that we could do. This follow-up action, we could add them to a mailing list, an email list, and once they get added to the email list, we can start doing all sorts of things. We can send additional higher priced offers. We can tell them to rate us on Yelp or some of those other review sites. We're just going to leave that off for now. So we're going to click save and next. And is this a physical product? Not for us. And everything looks good. So we're just going to return to product list. We go back to our product here and we click overview and we click this URL here. It's going to take us to our product page. And as you can see, there's this warning up here. I'm going to copy this credit card number. And if I click add to cart, you can see this shows up and then our drain cleaning for $7. So we know that this worked out pretty well. What we could do from here is we could just enter in all of our contact information as well as the dummy credit card, and we could type in 0321 and then 123, click add to cart, and this will submit the payment. So we're going to close that, and then the next page is our upsell. So if we want to sell them, in addition to the drain cleaning, maybe we are going to, clean out 3 faucets for the price of 2. We could have them add this to the order, and they'll automatically get charged for it. Right now, the order bump isn't, the downsell isn't enabled, so nothing will happen when I click on it. But we could set this up to add it to our order, and it would happen automatically. So let's go ahead and do that. So the first thing that we need to do is I need to get the URL for our downsell. The reason why we need the URL for our downsell is so that we can put it in our upsell just in case the person says no. In order to do that, I'm going to click copy URL to clipboard, go to the OTO, click edit page, and I'm going to go down here to no thanks. I'm going to paste this in here, click enter, and then click save. So if I preview this page and I click no thanks, it should take me to our downsell, which is this. Actually, no, that's our landing page. That's not right. All right, so I click edit page, go to the no thanks. I don't need this now. Double click, open that up. And I'm going to paste that right in. Paste that right in. If I hit enter, if I click save, and then I click preview, if I click no thanks, it should take me to my downsell page. And as you can see, this is the downsell page. Again, if I hit no thanks here, it will take me to my offer wall. It'll take us to our order wall. So we could actually do that as well. And to do that, we are simply going to go, we're going to go to our order wall. I'm going to copy this, go to our downsell page, click edit, then I'm going to click here, double click on that again, paste that in, hit enter, and click save, and then preview. So if I say no thanks, as you can see, I have my drain cleaning product. And since it's a digital download, I would just click this and I could access the purchase. Again, this could go to a thank you page. The thank you page would have our link if we're selling a digital product or service. It could have our downloadable link. But this is really it. So what we've done, if I go back here, what we've done is I've added an initial product to our sales letter order form. I have added a few different links to our upsell and our downsell, and we are able to view our product on the order form. What I think we should do next is just kind of fill out everything with regards to where everything goes. Maybe I'll add in an order bump. I'll add in different products for our upsells and downsells, and then we can kind of see this whole thing in action. Again, I don't want to spend a lot of time recreating the wheel just because it's changing the header and the video is the exact same as it would be with the landing page that we created in the first section. So I don't want to waste any of your time doing that. But what we will do is I'll show you how to add in the order bump. I'll show you how to add in upsell, downsell, and then we'll move on to the next section. All right, so in this section, we are going to finish out our sales page. We're going to add our order bump to the sales letter order form. We are going to add a product to the upsell and add a product to the downsell, and we're going to view how all of this shakes out. Also, we are going to make changes to our thank you pages so that we could potentially add the links in, again, if we're selling a digital product or service. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. I'm going to click on edit page. So I'm going to click on products, and I'm going to add a new product. And we're going to use Stripe again. Again, Stripe is just easier to use at this point. And we're going to click save and next, and we'll say order bump. Order bump. We're going to price our order bump at, we'll say $19.99. All of that is not important, and we're going to just select order bump. And we're going to click save. And we're going to click save. Save again. Save again. Save again. And we're going to return to the product list. At this point, we are going to go back to the overview here of our sales letter order form. And we're going to edit this page. Now, the reason why I want to edit this page is so I can show you how to show and hide your payment screen or your payment information. Right now, it's scheduled as hidden. If we go up to rows and we click manage, what you'll notice is these two sections that are hidden. If I click on these eyes, they open up and you're able to see them. Now the way that this works is if we go to, if we click on our button, right now it's in black and white, you can barely see it, it says show hide on page. If I click the button and I click set action, this is where you can show or hide other sections of your page. So if we look at it, as you can see, there are two buttons checked. So it's hiding the sales page, or excuse me, it's hiding the payment information and the heading for it. Again, if we uncheck these two, nothing would happen when we click this button. But since they are marked like that, what happens is when we click add to cart, these two buttons magically appear. And so that's actually pretty cool. The other thing that we can do is if I click on the order bump, we can go in and we can change it. We'll say bump. And there you go. That's how you make changes there. And we can actually change the price here. If we want to make this a very expensive order bump, we can do that. And we can also change the text here. So there's a lot of things that you can do within just this piece of information. So if we click save and we click preview, as you can see, the sales page is no longer hidden. The order bump just says bump and it's priced at over $1 million. What we're going to do is I'm going to copy this, scroll down, and I'm going to buy the order bump as well. So we'll say 0321 123. Yes, I'll take the order bump, add to cart. And then once we do that, it'll take us to that upsell page that we manipulated in the last video. What we need to do is we need to add another product to this button. Right now we don't have a product, so nothing will happen. In fact, we'll probably get an error when we try to add it. Also, the cool thing too is this is a dynamic piece of information here. So if we click no thank you, it takes us to a downsell. And then we click no thank you again, it will take us to a order wall. And as you can see, I have the drain cleaning and I have the order bump. Now, because I'm using this dummy test credit card, you're going to see multiple of these, and there's really no way around it unless I clear the cache and kind of go through that. But that's not really necessary. So let's close this. We're just going to get rid of all these other ones here. We've got a lot of things going on. And what we should do next is we should add products to the upsell. So once you click on upsell, we're going to go over to products again, and it's the exact same process. We're going to add a new product, and this product will only show up on the upsell. And we're going to call this OTO upsell. And we're going to price this at $67. We're going to leave all the rest of that blank. It's not an order bump, so we're going to click save and next. Save and next. Save and next. Now, again, what we could do is we could actually send this person to a separate mailing list because we know that they have ordered the upsell. So maybe they're a hot buyer. Maybe we can get them to purchase more products and services. Right now, we're going to leave that off and just click save and next. And save and next again. And then we're going to return to product list. So now what we can do is we can click on overview. If I click the link here, it'll take us to our page here. And what should happen is it should have selected Stripe here. So I'm going to click save. Go back to our one-time offer. If I go to overview again, go to the web page, and then if I click add this to my order, it should automatically add the product, and then it takes us directly to the order wall. Now the cool thing about it is because they've already purchased the upsell, it won't take them to the downsell, it'll take us right to the thank you page. What should happen, one thing that I would need to go in and do, it looks like, is I would need to go in and change the pricing here. What I would actually do is I would actually take this out completely. So if we go to set action, we can see where this is going. One click upsell, OTO. I would actually take this out completely just so that it doesn't, it helps to avoid confusion. So I'm going to take that out. But again, if they decide to add the upsell, it takes them to the order. If they decide to take, if they elect to say no thank you, then that's when they go to the downsell. So I'm just going to leave that. And so what we need to do is we need to have one more offer for the downsell. Now our upsell was at 67. Maybe our downsell is going to be at $49.99. It could be the same product. It can be a different product. That is really up to you. And so to do that, again, we click products. We're going to add a product. Make sure we select Stripe this time. Save and continue. I'm going to call this OTO down. And we'll say this is $49.99. And then if we just save and accelerate past the rest, you'll see how the rest of this works. So I'm going to click Save and Next. Now again, with the upsells and downsells, you could essentially do this an unlimited number of times. I would probably keep it pretty basic to start, just because you don't want to overwhelm or frustrate your customer with all of the different upsells and downsells. So if we go through, if we start at the sales letter again, so let's say we are doing some marketing, and let's say we're running Facebook ads, and we send them to this offer. And what we're going to do is we're going to simulate actually going through this. So I'm going to click that. They get here, it's our plumbing offer. They say, yeah, that's a great idea. I want to buy the plumbing services. So I click Add to Cart, and this pops up. I'm going to enter in my credit card information. And then I'm also going to take the upsell. So I'm going to click Add to Cart. Payment processes, again, we're using a dummy or test credit card. And you can see I get hit with an upsell. Hey, you purchased something for $7. Are you interested in something for $67? I can say, no, thank you. That takes me to a downsell. I'm going to add the downsell to my order. And then once I do that, it takes me to a order wall. And from the order wall, I could access my purchases. So what we need to do next, and what we'll do in the next video, is we'll actually change our thank you pages so that when we access the purchases, we'll be able to download something. All right, so we have made pretty good progress, and we will start working on the back-end stuff on the next video. In this video, we are going to add thank you pages to all of the products that we created in our last video. And to do that, I'm actually within the sales funnel already. I'm just going to go down to other funnel steps, and I'm going to click on the first one, a drain cleaning thank you page. And once we get there, we're just going to select we're going to select the first one because it's the easiest. That's going to auto-populate. From here, what we're going to do is I'm actually just going to go through, I'm going to delete a bunch of these things, and I'm just going to say, thank you, here's what you ordered. So what I want to do is I'm going to go to background. I'm going to delete this. Let's see, sections, manage section, delete, delete. All right, so we have a blank section. I'm going to go wide, width, add new, one column, and I'll say, we'll say thank you for your order. Your order. Download your thing today. All right, so we have that. And what we could do next, if we wanted to, we could add a new row and make this a 2-column row. So let's say we're giving out a book. On this side, I am going to add an image. Click the image. I am going to add a book. Let's say, whoops, let's add this book. And then on this side, we'll add some text. We'll say, click the below button to get your ebook. Now that we have that, below that we're going to add a button, and that button is actually going to link out to a digital asset that we have already on the system. So I'm going to exit this, going to go up to account settings, go down to digital assets, and then I'm just going to get this top one here. So I'm going to copy the asset. Now I'm going to go back to our sales funnel. Funnels. Click on this one. Go back to our drain cleaning thank you page. Click edit page. And I'm going to change this button so that it goes to this URL. And I'm going to open it in a new window. If I save that, and I'm going to exit out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the order wall, and I'm going to go to this website here. All right, so access purchase, drain cleaning. There you go. If I click that, here is the download. So it works perfectly. So what we did and what we can do for each of these is after your customer goes through the process, they make an initial purchase of a product or service, they go through the upsell, they go through the downsell, and then they get to this order wall. The order wall will take them to the thank you page, and the thank you page will allow them to download the product or service that you're offering them. And you can do this, you should do this for each one of the products that you have, because people are going to buy this. And when you do that, you can add your digital assets to Clickfunnels, and it'll work seamlessly. And really, it's just a matter of doing this multiple times. You want to do this, make sure that you do this for each one of your thank you page so that they get the product or service that you're recommending. And that's really it. The other thing that I do want to show you is you want to send people to this initial web page. You don't want to send them to any of these other pages, because that could confuse and frustrate them. You want to get their initial sales page, and you want to secure their credit card payment. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy the URL to the clipboard, and if I open this up in incognito mode and I paste this in, it should take us right to this page. As you can see, there you are. And if you went to this page and purchased your product, you would actually get access. One thing that I do want to go back and do is I want to go back and I want to edit to make the credit card payment section invisible again. And to do that, I'm going to go down to manage, click that, and now they are gone. But again, this section, if you're going to sell an ebook, might as well sell it on your own site. You just have to drive traffic to it. Again, you can use Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, whatever. They get to this page, and it's just like a normal sales page. In the next video, I'm just going to wrap up everything that we did, because we did do a lot. I'm going to wrap it up, and then I'll actually introduce what we're going to do in the next section. In this video, I'm going to summarize everything that we covered in this section and introduce everything that we're going to cover in the next section. So in this section, we actually built a sales page. Actually, we kind of borrowed the template from Clickfunnels, but we modified it so that we could use it for products or services. We actually used a Stripe dummy account so that we could actually walk through the steps of an actual customer. We collected payments. We set up an order bump. We modified the order bump. I showed you how to hide and show different sections of your web page. We talked about and actually implemented one-time offers, upsells and downsells, digital downloads via the thank you page. We connected with PayPal for a live version, but it takes a lot more effort to do the sandbox version with PayPal, so we switched over to Stripe. And again, we added the one-time offer and the order bumps to Clickfunnels, and we talked a little bit about how to set up the payouts. On the next section, which will be our conclusion, we're actually going to build a membership site. Now, you want to build a membership site kind of like a Facebook group, but this is going to be more private. This is really going to be hidden from the world. This could be an exclusive site that you build and invite people that have become members of your tribe. So let's say you sell them a product, $1,000 product, but then you want to offer additional training on top of that. You could offer them a membership site, free or paid. Then basically what we're going to do then is we're going to create sections. We can actually lock some of the sections until the members have completed other portions, and then we're actually going to add some content as well. This will be the last section with the exception of some bonuses, but I can't wait to get started, and I'll see you on the other side. Hello and welcome back to ClickFunnels 101, Introduction to ClickFunnels. In this section, we are going to build out a membership site. As I mentioned previously, you'd want to use a membership site. Maybe you have sold your customer a premium service or product, and you want to show them maybe tutorials. You want to show them something private that you don't want exposed to Facebook groups or YouTube. And so you can use ClickFunnels to build out a membership site. You can also sell access to your membership site. You can do it at one time or you can do monthly payments. ClickFunnels makes it very easy for you to set this up. You can also lock other sections until customers have completed previous sections. And I'm going to show you how to add content as well as some of those other things. So this is actually a pretty cool section that can be used by just about anybody, everybody. Let's say you're a plumber and you want to teach your customers the proper way to plumb a toilet. You could actually create a membership site and create some engagement and create a little community that others would be happy to be a part of. So let's jump right in. The next video, we're going to create a membership site and we are going to keep the ball rolling downhill. All right, so we are back here at the ClickFunnels dashboard. We're going to create a membership site and we're going to use a cookbook, just like with the sales site, because why make things more difficult on ourselves? So we're going to go over to ClickFunnels. We're going to go down to Funnels. Then we are going to go to Add New. We're going to use Cookbook Builder Process. Then we are going to select Other from the type of funnel. Once you get to the cookbook and you can see all these different recipes, we'll call them, if we scroll down, we can click on Membership Funnel. So we're going to select that funnel. And we're just going to use this blue one. You can use any one you want. My preference is this blue one. It's free. There are paid funnels that you can use, but for our purposes, we don't really need to do that. So we're just going to click Get Funnel, and that is going to generate in the background. So there are a number of things that we want to take care of. We want to add maybe payment. We want to add sections. We want to add content. And we want to kind of lock out certain sections until our customers finish previous sections. So as you can see, the way that this is set up, there is a sales page, an offer wall, which will grant them access to the membership site, and then there's the entire funnel area. So there's a few different things that we'll have to take care of in order to get going. But while we're here, let us go ahead and click on Settings. And then we're going to go down and we're going to turn on our dummy Stripe account. And I'm going to go down here and click Save. And so we have that set up. The other thing that we can do while we're looking at it is if we go over to publishing, we can change the name of the funnel step. We could say landing page if we want. We'll click update funnel there and you'll see the name changes to landing page. If we go to settings, we can change our domain name to that. And then if we scroll all the way down and we click save, that'll change that. So now that we've done a few of those things, let's explore our template. So what we're going to do is we're going to click Edit Page. And as you can see, there's a video sales letter. So it would be you or someone else introducing the product. We could scroll down, and then again, just like the sales page we created at the last section, there is a show and hide option. If we go up to rows, we click Manage, and we want to show those rows, you can see it is just like the other option. So basically what that means is we need to add a product for this section for the landing page. So that would be step number 1 on things to do. If we go to order wall and we click on edit, you can see our purchase, and then when you click access purchase, that will take us to the next page in our, well, that'll take us to our next page, which is the member access area. Now in our member access area, it will require a login and password, as you can see here, which you'll get when someone logs in or creates an account. If we click back and we exit out, we're going to leave. And then we're going to hop on over to the membership area. And then within the membership area, as you can see, there are a number of things that you can do. There are sections, and then there are lessons within sections. In order for a person to log in, they have to use this login URL here. So you could email that to them. What you could actually do is you could set it up so that once they submit their payment, they get emailed this login information automatically, or you could do it manually just to make sure, but that's really up to you. So if we look at this, you can add new lessons, you can add new sections. Also too, you can drag and drop sections and lessons if that's what you want to do. You can delete them fairly easy. Click delete. And as you can see, you can actually restrict access. So as you can see, but we'll get into that in just a moment. All right, so let's go ahead and set up some of the outside stuff before we get into the actual membership area. So in this video, we are actually going to set up the framework for our membership site. To do that, the first thing that we need to do is obviously get into our membership template, and I'm going to go over to product. First thing we need to do is we need to click on products, click add product, click Stripe one time. We're going to allow commissions, save and continue. We're going to charge $1,000 for this. And I want to change the name to membership. Let's see, scroll down, click save and next. Then we want to hit save and next. On this page, we want to send them to a membership area. So what we're going to do is we're going to select membership area. We're going to click save and continue. Follow-up action, again, we could add them to our email list if we want, but we're not going to do that. Click save and continue. Save and continue. And then an overview of everything that we've done. So I'm going to click return to product page. Then I'm going to click overview here. And I'm going to click the URL for our product. As you can see, we have this set up with our dummy credit card. Copy that. And I'm going to click add to cart, and this shows up. As you can see, the price is $1,000. I don't have a order bump set up. I could obviously do that if I wanted to, but once we add everything to the cart, create our, add in our contact information, click add to cart. And then once we click access purchase, it takes us to our page here. Now what we would need to do, as you can see, you can actually create your account. This email should be the email that you use when you set up your, let's see if we go back here. This should be the same email. If we copy this, we go here, click your email address, and we're going to create a password. We'll call this hopefully they're the same. I click create your account, and as you can see, you get access to all of our sections. The sections we have yet to create, but what we're going to create in the next section. Pretty easy way to get started creating a membership site. So if we look, we click on dashboard, that takes us to this page. Support, if we had support set up, and then you can obviously log out. As I mentioned, we haven't really set up any of these sections yet, but if we had text or a PDF or whatever to download, you can do that here. So in the next section, we are actually going to make some changes to this. We're going to make some changes to our membership site. I'll show you how to lock certain items. We're really going to fill this out so that you are 100% comfortable creating a membership site. So I can't wait to get started and ultimately finish this up for you, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, in this section, I'm actually going to show you a few cool features that are included in the back office or in the membership area of your Clickfunnels membership site. So if we're taking a look, the first thing that I want you to take a look at is the number of members. If we click on members, there's one person. Obviously, it's me because I just signed up. You can actually take a look and see how much the person has completed. And you can actually see how they signed up and all of that good stuff. You can make some edits if you wanted to. You just have a number of options with regard to this person. Another thing that you could do is, let's say they are being unruly and they're not being kind within the group. You could actually delete them altogether. So that's the first thing. But if we go back to overview, and as you can see, we have a number of lessons and they're all called first lesson. If we wanted to, we could edit this by clicking on it, and we can change the name. We'll call it first section. And if we wanted to set any requirements, we could. We don't necessarily have to at this point. So we're going to update the lesson. So we've changed that to first. And let's say we wanted to make a change to the lesson within the section. And to do that, we just click on Open Editor. And when you click on Open Editor, it will give you a number of line items or tasks that the student or customer needs to complete. Now, for all intents and purposes, this basically turns into a ClickFunnels webpage that we've talked about multiple times. Within the webpage, you can add downloadable links. We could add a video if we wanted to. So if I click the plus sign here and I do a one column and I do an element, I can add a video. So the video could be hidden or private. You could actually host the video on YouTube or Wista or somewhere else that's private and hidden so that no one else has access to it. So I'm just going to exit out without saving. And let's say we want to click on that. We can actually change the title. We can change the section that it appears in. So if we wanted to move this from first section to first section, we can do that. We can actually delay this. So this will delay the release of this section. As I mentioned earlier, that you can actually kind of time this out. So if you don't want people just skipping ahead and just kind of doing their own thing, you want people to go at a staggered time, you can do that, which is pretty cool. And you can actually specify the required time that someone spends on each section. So again, they're not just flying through. And finally, you can actually set this up in a release date. So let's say you wanted this to be available. You didn't want this to be available until a month from now. You can do that. So there's a number of cool features that you can actually take advantage of within the ClickFunnels membership site, so that you can make sure that the customers aren't just flying through the material. So again, if we wanted to, let's say we wanted for our first section, let's say we wanted to make 4 sections, doing like an introduction of who I am and what I do. You can do that, and that's pretty cool. So if we open up the editor once again, and we go in, and let's say we want to add a new element. I would say the one thing that is missing from this functionality is the ability to have an actual community where people can enter and edit information. There isn't really anything that is just like that. I guess you could create a private Facebook group to do the same thing, but I don't necessarily know why you would need both at the same time. So if I get out of this, we'll click OK. And what I want to show you is I want to create a new lesson. And I want to select the video lesson, and I'm just going to put that in the first. We'll call this first. Real creative. We could delay it if we wanted to. We're going to create lesson. And so if I click on this, open editor, you can see that it shows up as a video. So this is pretty cool. It takes a lot of the guesswork and the frustrations out of your hands. It makes it very easy to set up for you. And if I just click refresh, on my membership area, you should see a number of changes. So I've refreshed the page. And as you can see, I have the first here, and it actually is a video that shows up within the dashboard. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool thing to take advantage of. The only thing you need to do is add links. This really will make your life very easy if you're looking to build a community or if you're looking to lead a group of people with step-by-step courses. And so that's really it. I mean, the membership site is really easy. Once you learn and understand the foundations of ClickFunnels, which essentially is what we covered when we built the landing page and even a little bit more with the sales page. Once you understand the fundamentals and the basics, you can get going pretty quickly. So the next section is really going to just be a discussion of my bonuses and a thank you for taking the time to build funnels with me. All right, so in this section, we actually created a membership site. We used a template from the cookbook, and we searched and found the membership site. Once we found the site, we figured out how to make it free or paid. We added a line item to make it paid, and we actually configured everything so that once the person gets to the thank you page or the order wall, they can click on a link. It'll take them to the page to create a username and password. Once they create that, they can access the membership site. We actually covered also, as the site owner, how to make certain lessons drip over a period of time, how to delay lessons, how to add sections and lessons, and how to add different templates, whether their template was a video template or actually a actual text or downloadable. And so we have done a lot, and we basically covered the very framework of ClickFunnels. We've covered how to do just about everything within ClickFunnels. I'm sure there's a few things that will be coming down the line, which I'll add in at a later date. But in the next section, I just want to offer a conclusion and list out some of the bonuses that are available to you just for completing the course. So I'll see you in the next section, and thank you very much. Hello and welcome back to ClickFunnels 101, Introduction to ClickFunnels. This is the conclusion and a brief discussion of my bonuses. I just want to take a few moments to say thank you very much for spending the time with me and allowing me to show you how to build funnels using ClickFunnels. I really appreciate the opportunity, and I'm very happy that I was able to serve you. Now, I do have a few additional bonuses just to help you out to make sure that you start off on the right foot. Because even though I have shown you how to do these funnels, it still can be a little frustrating and time consuming, at least when you get started. Now, the great news with Udemy is that these courses are available to you forever. And so you can come back 2, 3, 4 years from now, and if you still have a question about funnels, it probably will look a little bit different, but I've taught the underlying functionality, so you should be just fine. Now, included in my bonuses, I have 5 done-for-you funnels that you'll be able to download and access right away. You'll just need to click on the shareable link, and you'll be up and running in no time. Also, I'll have a list of all of the different funnels that we worked on, including the sales funnel, the membership funnel. I have all of that available to you so you can access them, and they'll get downloaded right into your ClickFunnels account. So we have covered a ton of information. If you have any more questions, you have questions that are more personal in nature, maybe you need a little bit more coaching and guidance, feel free to email me at mail@alstongodbolt.com. Also, check out some of my other courses. I think I have 4 other courses. Those are a little bit more technical in nature. They cover Amazon Web Services. So if you are looking for a different type of technical skill or ability, I teach the foundational level of Amazon Web Services as well. And last but not least, make sure you follow me on all socials. I am probably the easiest person to find on the internet. I am probably one of 3 people in the entire world that have the name Alston Godbolt. If you find anyone that has the name Alston Godbolt, let me know, because I'd like to meet them, quite honestly. But Twitter, I think Instagram, anything and everything, TikTok, whatever it could be, it's always Alston Godbolt. So feel free to look me up and let's connect. Also on YouTube, if I'm still doing YouTube at this time, it is Alston Godbolt. So thank you for your time, and I just want to say congratulations. Thank you very much. This is a pretty big accomplishment. You have learned a new skill which you'll be able to apply. You could actually do a little bit of freelance work and resell this skill. You could potentially make money online just by knowing how to build funnels. Knowing how to build sales pages, that is a skill that you can actually sell to other people. You could actually create your own course based on everything that you've learned here today. So once again, last but not least, finally, the last thing I have to say is thank you very much. make sure you check out some of those done for you funnels and check back from time to time, because I will be updating. ClickFunnels is changing probably monthly at this point. Definitely check back, because as ClickFunnels evolves, I will evolve right along with it, and I want to make sure that you stay up to date. So thank you very much, and I will see you on the other side.